Welcome to my channel once again, YouTubers. As you can see, the room is getting a bit more decorated. It's looking a bit more homely. This has been non-stop Warhammer action in this room since I moved into this place. I just wanted to make this quick video about some footage that I found of a Tyranid Capillary tower that I started to make a few years back. I'd completely forgotten that I'd made the footage because I was drunk at the time, during some of it anyway. And it made me laugh, so I thought that everybody needed to see it. So here we go, Tyranid Capillary towers. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's late night, but I have here a bag of window expanding foam offcuts. That is basically this stuff that I've sprayed into a window frame, the little offcuts that were left over, and let's see what we can make out of that, shall we? Thank you. Right, it's taken me a couple of hours. Half a bottle of whiskey and several serious burns to my fingers with the glue gun, but I've managed to create some things that I think look a little bit like capillary towers out of this foam. You've got to give it a bit of artistic licensing. When they're standing up, I'm going to glue them to bits of wood, and hopefully they'll be well on their way to being capillary towers. I've got two, so I need another one somewhere along the line, but I think once they've been painted they'll look quite good. I hope you can get an idea of where I'm coming from with that. Capillary towers. So there you go. I'd like to you can see the burn on the end of my finger there, and there's another one on this finger somewhere, quite painful. There you go. There's another cool piece of terrain, could fit onto one of them somewhere. So there you go, capillary towers, homemade, nice one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we're into day 2 of the homemade capillary tower saga. In the cold light of day I can actually see what I did last night, and yeah, the fingers did get burnt. I'm not too sure about the curve over the top of that one. I'm a bit worried it looks a bit like a dog poo, but I don't know. I've wasted enough glue on them so far, so I suppose I better just stick with it. The next part of the mission is to stick them to a piece of wood each, a little round bit of wood, and then try and make some of these flat edges a little bit more smoother by either cutting some of these circulary bits up and adding them to the side, or using some kind of polyfiller or something to smooth out the edges. So I've got another smaller one as well that I want to make, so I've got my 3 capillary towers now. Yeah, just need to make them look alright now. So there you go. I'll get back on this game in a bit when I've had a shower and stuff. So there you go. The saga continues. Alright there then, Tyranid YouTube fans. Here's the next step in the development of a homemade capillary tower. I've taken loads of these little random offcuts of foam, which is the same thing I used to make these bad boys out of. I think they look alright, very Tyranid like, and I've glued them together. I think I covered that gluing and burning your fingers in a previous video, and what I've just done is I've arranged them like in a kind of way that I think looks cool, and cut a piece of wood out to stick them onto. So now the next step is to basically to stick these bits onto here, and then to fill in the gaps with like some decorator's filler, or possibly just use some glue again. I'll probably use decorator's filler because it's a bit cheaper than the glue. And then yeah, just fill in all like the little gaps so it looks nice and bubbly and alien like. Then I've got to sand it, and then I've got to paint it, and that's pretty much it. I'll probably see how there's like a smooth edge there. I'll probably get like some more offcuts of the long thin strips and put them there, and try and work out how I'm going to make this top come to a nice gnarly looking bit. But There you go, there's the next step in the homemade capillary tower. I've also got another smaller one that I'm going to make there, the dog poo one, and I've got another tiny one I'm going to make out of these couple of little random long bits there, so the varying sizes, but this is going to be the daddy, the main one, the centerpiece kind of thing. So there you go. Okay, so there you go. I've glued it to the wood using glue gun technology, and this time wearing gloves, learning from my mistakes, you see. So there you go, that's glued there. I'll leave that for a few hours just to dry off, and probably put a bit more glue in the recesses, and then maybe yeah, smooth off various areas of it. I suppose, yeah, I'll have to put a little bit on that side there as well. But it looks alright, I think. Better than paying however much that Forge World thing is, although that does look a bit cooler because it's got the carapacey bits on it. I think this will be a nice little homemade version of that. It'll make my my Tyranid board look a bit more exciting anyway, with a few more of these kind of bits of terrain on it. So there you go, there's the latest bit. The saga continues. Okay, so this is basically where I got to with the model. This was a few years back, and I just thought I'd continue the development of the model and show you exactly what I plan on doing with it. Basically, to complete this model, what you're going to actually need to have is a hammer, a flashlight, a set square, an eraser, a small trowel, and a handsaw. Okay, so now you've got your capillary tower, you want to get your small pointing trowel, and in a couple of rapid tapping motions you want to start tapping down the side just to you know, uneven the edges slightly. After you've done that, you may find it useful to get your handsaw and start randomly cutting it in different directions, whichever way pleases you the most. The next thing you want to do is get your flashlight, more commonly known as a torch in the UK, shine it directly down upon the top of the item, and that should give you a good idea of what the shading's looking like from a bird's eye point of view. The set square is simply to hold against the item to see how completely unsquare the item is. It's not square at all. The eraser is simply to rub the entire episode out of your mind so you forget that you ever tried to do this. And the hammer is to either beat yourself to death with or smash the model to pieces when you realise that it's not working properly. Okay, so once you've finished hacking, slashing, hammering and erasing, you should find that you have something that looks a little bit like this. Now you might notice this looks exactly identical to a Forge World Tyranid capillary tower. However, I can guarantee you that I did not go out and buy one, and I did not give up on my project halfway through and just get bored of the whole thing. You might notice the particular paint scheme that I've used on this model fits perfectly with my army. And I can highly recommend that all you kids out there go and get some expanding foam, get yourself a handsaw, a flashlight, a set square, a hammer and an eraser, and don't forget the small pointing trowel, and get your shit together and make yourself a Tyranid Forge World capillary tower. It's worth every moment of fun. But do remember, kids, that if you're using a hot glue gun, wear gloves. Covered all the bases, have you? God damn it.